right, I am back with a combination marathon Destiny 2 video. Okay, so I was not expecting the highlights of the otherwise somewhat underwhelming PlayStation Showcase yesterday to be featuring Bungie so heavily, even though they are owned by Sony, which we know. This was the moment that Bungie decided to debut their new IP, which is based on a very old IP, Marathon. They also had a final shape teaser right after that. So a lot of things to go through. I figure I'll just make one video for both of them. I guess I could split it, but I don't know. Who cares? Marathon. So this was leaked a while ago. Marathon returning as a extraction shooter, like Bungie kind of doing the whole PvP live service thing with one of their really, really old IPs. But now we got an actual look at it. We got actual information about it. First of all, I absolutely love the aesthetic of this. Like, so much. It is so striking. This trailer, the art direction, the cinematic direction, the music. Bungie always makes very good trailers. This is a trailer I've probably watched 20 times already. It is incredible. It's an amazing trailer. That said, I just don't know if this is ever going to be for me. I've talked about this before where I always knew that Bungie had a bunch of PvP-based projects in the works. This is not the only one, but this is the one that they are obviously coming out with the soonest and the one that is actually going to make it to the finish line. And I did not really expect whatever their new PvP projects were to have any sort of PvE or single-player campaign attached to them. And sure enough, this does not. This is a wholly PvP game. There might be some like AI enemies around, like Tarkov style, but it is very much a dedicated PvP game. You can play in squads of 3, you can play solo, and as an extraction shooter, you're going around a map, you're killing people, you're collecting loot, and then you are trying to extract without dying. Bungie made it clear, like, you don't have to fight, you can sneak around and get artifacts to extract and stuff like that, and just kind of make your way out that way. But it is very much, the core of an extraction shooter, and as you know, I'm just not really a PvP person. Like, I will play Destiny PvP when I have to, if there's some specific reward I'm going for, but I am just not someone who sits around playing Valorant or Tarkov, or I used to play a little bit of Fortnite, I used to play a little bit of Apex, a little bit of Warzone, but these are not games I dedicate any significant amount of time to. I am a big PvE, I guess, live service person, in addition to, I wouldn't consider Marvel Snap a PvP game in the traditional sense, but I am mostly either a single player person with single player campaigns and open world games, or I am a multiplayer person, like but still with PvP elements or PvE elements like Destiny 2 or the upcoming Diablo 4, things like that. So I just don't know if this is going to be for me. I'll certainly play it. I certainly want to see how it feels. And given that this is Bungie, given that this will have Bungie level gunplay, as opposed to every other game, which has yet to replicate how good Bungie's gameplay feels, I think Bungie makes the best feeling shooters on the market. That was true back in the Halo days. That is true in Destiny now. I do not think there is a better feeling shooter on the market. Like, granted, I am used to it, but I am used to it, but it is still that impressive, I think, on a day-to-day basis. So I'm certainly eager to play something in that vein. I just don't know if I see myself committing to a game like this long term. This has also raised the specter of, this is very much where Destiny 2's PvP team went. They very clearly took a huge chunk of the existing PvP folks and put them on Marathon. Already we know this game is directed by Chris Barrett, who was a high-up Destiny person before this. This is Lars Bakken, who is a big PvP Gambit person who was responsible for that. GM is Scott Taylor. Elliot Gray is doing UI. There's a lot of people who were working on Destiny who are now working on this, and some new hires that are working on it as well, obviously. And Destiny's team is bigger than ever before. This is why we're seeing bigger seasons than we have in the past, at least over the past few years. So it's not like Destiny is starved for developers. It's just that a lot of the PvP folks went to Marathon and they are struggling to replace them. And they're not going to kill Destiny 2 PvP, but this is very much the answer as to why PvP has been flagging the past few years and has not gotten very much content. That said, there's a chance that they can stock up over time, but I know a lot of PvP players are looking at Marathon and being like, that has dedicated servers, that is a dedicated PvP security team, it has disconnect protection, it is all the stuff that I think Destiny PvP players wish that Destiny had. But I know also a lot of them are excited to play a new Bungie PvP game. And who knows, maybe some of the, die-hard PvP players of Destiny will just migrate over to Marathon. And I don't think Bungie would mind that. I think they want Marathon to have a robust player base. I think they want to be one of the best premium PvP shooters on the market and attract a bunch of content creators to play it. There aren't that many big extraction games on the market. Like Tarkov is obviously the biggest one. Hunt Showdown, I think, is the cycle extraction. I am not 100% sure. I'm not really into the extraction scene. Dr. Disrespect is making the vertical extraction shooter Dead Drop. This, unlike that game, will have no NFTs or blockchain involvement, I am assuming. But it does seem like a space that is ripe for a big publisher to dive in there and do all the sorts of things that even like the Tarkov team wouldn't necessarily have the budget or the resources for. So I think this is a good idea. I certainly think this is a better idea than making a hero shooter, which are rapidly falling out of favor as we see with the destruction of Overwatch. Another attempt at CSGO, which Valorant is doing, and then there's CS2 coming out very soon, so it would be hard to go against that. Or a Battle Royale, which is really out of fashion now. I mean, Fortnite still exists, it still has players, Apex still exists, but I would not want to be debuting a new Battle Royale right now, but extraction shooters, yes, that does seem like a good PvP genre to dive into at this current moment, because there are not that many mainline big competitors. So Bungie may be able to come in and just own that space. Maybe not, but I'd say they have a pretty good chance to. So I do think this was a good idea. It's just not something that holds that much interest for me personally, at least just with the initial concept of being an extraction shooter in the first place. I don't know. The aesthetic is amazing. If I can make a really awesome cybernetic ninja shooter people by playing that game, that, I don't know, maybe I will get into it, but we'll see. Okay, so that's Marathon. They're going dark on Marathon for a long time now. This should be out either by 2025 or in 2025. That is when they said that they were going to have a new game out that wasn't Destiny. We'll see if that happens. There's obviously going to be a lot of alphas and betas and whatever, because that's how games like this work. But they are not going to say anything for X period of time. We don't know how long, but I would say at least 6 months, if not a year. I guess we'll see. Okay, so the other news here was the teaser trailer for The Final Shape. Given that Lightfall came out 3 months ago, seems a little early for a Final Shape trailer, but we got one. And as they used Cade as the marketing for Forsaken, advertising his death as like the main crux of the expansion, they are now using Cade's resurrection to market The Final Shape. And this raises many questions based on this minute-long teaser here. But just outside of the game, we know that Nathan Fillion is confirmed to be voicing Cade 6 again. As we know, he did not voice Cade 6 for the Forsaken expansion. That was Nolan North doing a Nathan Fillion impression. A decent one, but it's not Nathan Fillion. who we have not heard since the vanilla D2 days, and like I think there was maybe some Cade content after that before Forsaken, maybe not. Maybe it was just vanilla, and then obviously Destiny 1, he was in that too. He's back. I'm not sure why he wasn't in Forsaken, scheduling conflicts, who knows. But he is here, Cade is here. Don't know what's going on really. It is very obvious that we are through the portal that was carved into the Traveler by the Witness. We see it in the sky. We see Ikora talking to Cade, saying she wishes that Cade was there. Cade has Ace of Spades. Maybe we brought it to him. Maybe when you die, you get to keep your favorite gun. I don't know. I guess that would be me in Wishender, maybe. And he has some sort of green wispy glow in his eyes, in his face. That is not how he looked before. He had like these blue robot eyes. It's different. So this is some sort of undead, ethereal version of Cade, we think. Don't know how Ikora is there. If this is a place Guardians go and they die, is she dead? She doesn't have green glowing eyes, so I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming we just figure out a way to get into the portal. I think that will be the events of the next few seasons, is figuring out how to go after the Witness. This season already, the magic sea worm is like telling us some things relevant to the Witness, which are time gated because of her psychic abilities are exhausting or something. I don't know. And then we're studying the Veil more, the all-important Veil, which we had a Veil quest that really taught us exactly nothing other than maybe Savathun put the Veil there, and then the Ishtar Collective found it, as opposed to the Ishtar Collective bringing it there, which was the original idea. Anyway, this will all lead to us going through the portal somehow. I don't know what this place is. If this is a place where dead Guardians go, there's a lot of other dead Guardians I guess we could see there in theory. Cade is obviously the most major one. If it would be weird if it was just Cade, and if it is just Cade, maybe this is like some sort of Ikora manifests her best friend coming back in this non-real space inside the Traveler. We also get to see the landscape here, which is weirdly normal. Like, it just looks like kind of a utopian, nature-filled version of Earth. It is not the Black Garden. It is very much not how the Black Garden looks. It is not some sort of bizarre alien planet. It looks like Earth. It looks very much like Earth minus people. Don't know what that means. Don't really even know if this is like a real place or just some sort of like psychic projection that the Traveler shows you what you want to see inside of it. I don't know. But still a big teaser, some very strong hints at what the final shape may be about. I always figured the final shape would take place inside the Traveler in some capacity. I kind of thought it would be like a whole Black Garden zone, and this is not that, apparently. And other than kind of Cade's return and us getting into the portal, that's sort of all the clues we get. There is going to be a showcase in late August about the final shape that is similar to when we learned about the Witch Queen, ahead of the Witch Queen. It's like 6+ months early. Like, there's usually 2 more seasons, I think, between that debut and the final shape itself. That was always a little weird because when they did the Witch Queen, we had this whole season about like bringing Savathun back to life and trying to kill her. And then in the Witch Queen, we're like, well, Savathun's there. Although the twist there was that we did actually kill her and the Traveler resurrected her. So it was a good twist. So hopefully they can pull off something like that again and do a better campaign than Lightfall. I know there are some Final Shape story raid leaks. I'm not sure. I think this was from our good friend, the Summit Leaker. But I'm not reading any of those. I have not read any of those. Please do not talk about those in my mentions or in my comments. I don't want to know about it. But we will see where things go from here. Also in the showcase, they say like the future of Destiny 2. They have already very, very strongly hinted that Destiny 2 will get at least one more saga, like after the Light and Darkness saga ends. My prediction has always been probably a new trilogy of expansions doing something. I don't think it will be a hard reset, as in we lose all of our gear and blah blah blah. It might be some level of a reset, like they might have a new campaign that's like the place for New Lights to jump in now or whatever. But I think very much this is going to be more Destiny 2 expansions, and we will not get a fully new Destiny game until the start of the next console generation or around that. Yes, there will be a new console generation. We are not all moving to cloud gaming, or VR is not happening. And also, I don't think Bungie is just going to ditch Destiny for Marathon, and they're going to be a full-time Marathon developer. They have made it very clear that like Destiny is going to continue to be their main game and their big IP that they continue essentially indefinitely. I think they will start making other projects. I think Marathon is the start. I think in the future there will be more games that are not Destiny. Destiny may expand into other places like mobile. That has been a big theory. When this trailer started, I thought it was a trailer for a mobile version of Destiny because I'm like, they're not going to show the final shape now, but they did, and we don't really know what Destiny mobile game there is going to be, but there is probably going to be some sort of Destiny mobile game. And yeah, so that is where we ended up here. Way more Bungie news than I was expecting. I was not really expecting any Bungie news, frankly, with the launch of this season kind of being the big Destiny thing that happened recently, but Bungie is making moves. I am glad that Marathon is finally revealed so we can stop saying redacted on everyone's profiles and they can start talking about it openly. Again, love the Marathon debut, the visuals, the audio, all of it. We will see if it's something I actually am interested in playing when it rolls around. And then Final Shape, Cade stuff. I guess I didn't really talk about. I don't know narratively if I love the idea of bringing Cade back. It's just death is so like impermanent in Destiny anyway, because usually you can figure out how to bring characters back. Like Savathun is dead, but her ghost is alive, so obviously Savathun's coming back. When humans die, there is always a very significant chance that they will be resurrected by a ghost. That happened to Aldrin. It is probably going to happen to Amanda at some point. So death is always kind of hard to come by. But like Cade was like very dead, ghost destroyed, Cade shot, dead, and now he's not dead. He might only exist in this realm or whatever, but it's a little weird to bring him back. Again, it's too early to judge. Maybe they'll do it in a cool way, but that was kind of a thought I had. So anyway, that is kind of my recap of both announcements here. And I probably should have split this in half for double the views, but I don't care. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.